What's up, guys? All right, so today we are going to be doing a tier list after the new patch notes with the Doc heals and the Rook withstand and all the other operators in game up to Brutal Swarm. And I'm SenVale, and let's get started. Let's go. We're gonna do all the ops. We're doing pretty fast. If you guys have any complaints on who you think should move around up or down, leave it down in the comments below, or if you're live in stream, let me know while I place them down. All right, so Ace, S tier, good fragger, decent hard breach. I'm gonna go to the hard breaches first, just to kind of get them out of the way. Thermite, S tier hard breach. Ibana, S tier hard breach. Well, all of them have their own specific purposes and why you should bring them. Ace is more of an entry kind of hard breach. Hatch Warlord, that big opening that you just want. Maverick, I'm gonna be honest, Maverick got a little bit worse without the grenades, so I am gonna put the Maverick at the A tier. Because he can still open up walls on his own. Actually, I'm gonna place Maverick even lower at the B tier. I know that's a little weird for Maverick being S tier for so long, but I do think that Maverick is at the B tier. Thatcher is a good op, except this is gonna be a little iffy if you don't understand champion level gameplay or higher level gameplay. I'm gonna place the Thatcher at the B tier as well, because I feel like there are better options than Thatcher now with the EMP impacts, such as there's two that I really want to talk about. You have the Osa and you have the Lion. So they both can open up the wall just like Thatcher, but they have extra utility on top. Yes, their EMPs aren't as strong or as good, and they have one less, but then they also have their gadgets on top, like Osa has shields, Lion has the scanner, and both are really strong utility to have on top. All right, so now I really want to talk about the massive change to Doc and Rook. So we're gonna talk Doc first. Now, how strong is Doc now after the heals? So heals go from 40 health to 200 health. So think every time you get a Doc stem, heals you all the way up. And Doc also has a bailiff. So I played a little bit of Doc. Honestly, I was a little underwhelmed with how it kind of functioned, but I know that overall it is really good, especially anytime that someone was hurt. Like one Doc stem heals them and they're overhealed. So I do think that Doc does have a place, especially with a bailiff now in siege somewhere. So I am going to place the Doc at A tier because I could see Doc actually getting a little bit more gameplay, game time, playing a little bit more aggressive. The only downside of Doc for me personally is that you are a 3 armor. Your mobility is going to be very delayed and you are really slow. So, and then you have Rook withstand. So again, this is a little bit more up in the air, but like I feel like Rook as a whole is in this C to D tier with just, you know, how Rook functions. But with the withstand, it does raise him up a bit, but I don't think that it makes him rise above the B tier because just the overall lack of utility that he brings to the table. The reason why Doc's a little bit higher, Doc has a bailiff to make sight rotations in line of sight. And honestly, when let's say a roamer wins a firefight, comes back to sight, like, hey Doc, heal me. Boom, overhealed, good to go, no problema. Rook, I mean, you set it down, it is what it is. Alibi, I think Alibi's an S tier. Just a really good entry fragger to set up sites, give shields, and you can basically I feel like Alibi is an S tier, just a really good entry for the defenders. Emeru is going to be a C tier, very strong when used correctly, but can be a little bit mediocre most of the time. Actually, I'm gonna place B tier because I do think Amaru is situational. Some of these guys, situational, yes, but there are a lot of situations where Amaru can be effective, especially if you play smart. It's A tier too easy to impact trigger in the new meta. I mean, true, but like the reason why I like A is because it is a functional hard breach that you can just throw it really quick. So like, it's not a. I don't see Ace as a normal hard breach. When I say hard breach, I'm thinking these two guys. Ace isn't like a go-to hard breach. Ace is more of a I need a decent gun. Like Ace has probably one of the best guns in the game, if not the best gun in the game, and you can just throw it out the wall and be completely fine. Thermite, you're very exposed. Hibana's, you have a gadget in your hand that you have to, like, you know, it's also very slow. Ace, you just huck it and you're done. So he's up there, but for different reasons than these two guys. You know, you know what I mean. Rooney, B tier. definitely still strong. Able to make rotates, good gun, decent overall roundup. You have the Ash. Let's see. Yeah, Ash is C tier. Nothing too crazy about Ash right now. There's not much of a reason to pick Ash over, let's say, the Ayana. Ayana is just overall a better Ash. Frag grenades, and then you also have utility on top as Ayana. Ash isn't bad, and you can still do work as Ash, but overall as an operator, I think Ash is very underwhelming. Ayana did lose the Gon 6, but frag grenades still exist, and frag grenades, there's not that many frags. So let's see, Thatcher S. Why Thatcher S? You need to explain that, because I just don't feel like Thatcher should be S. Eve A, I do agree with that. He was at the bottom of the S tier in my eyes. Lion low A. That's fair. I'd like the Osa over the Lion. Thatcher, Thatcher S? I'll meet you halfway and say A, maybe. I don't think Thatcher goes above that, because I just feel like there are better, there are adjacent options to Thatcher if you're smart about how you're doing it. Thatcher is just, I don't know. I feel like he's very, I don't even ban Thatcher half the time. It's just not as strong of an op ban as, like, let's say Nook. Nook is S tier for sure in my eyes, like just the best entry in the game, if that. Rat plays on all day. This isn't necessarily a comp play, like a comp tier list. This is more like just high elo tier list. So I mean, I don't have like real, like, you know, it is what it is. Azami S tier, I don't even think about it. Azami is broken as hell. That's an easy one. Thatcher's lazy man op. Yeah, that's what I'm leaning on right there. It's more of a lazy man's op, and that, yeah, it does help with, like, let's say Organ, being able to EMP above the elbow shield, so you can just huck a grenade at the smoke. So like there are times where Thatcher is strong, because you can't do that with the EMP impacts. There are times where you can use the Thatcher in a good way, and it does make it a lot easier to open up the walls. But if you're smart about how you do it, you can do it with the EMP impacts, and they also have extra utility on top. Ibana's 3 burn counters impacts on hatches. I mean, but that doesn't happen very often, Spec. Like, how many times is Hibana getting impact? Like, how many times are you getting impact tricked on a hatch besides Clubhouse? Obviously. He's also good for clearing his zombies. I mean, that's true, but there's a lot of utility for clearing his zombies. I don't think that. I feel like Hibana does sit safely at the. I think I'm going to put Hibana at the high A. I mean, these aren't in order, but I just think that these two are a little bit better at just, you know, overall op of what you want. And Hibana is just more like, get that hatch. And there are other options to get hatches now. There's a lot of ops that have hard breach gadgets like Amaru. And you don't necessarily have to just, you know, be a hard breach. Technically, you're Amaru. People forget that. Bandit. Unless you're trying to bandit trick, banditing is, you know, is a little bit underwhelming. I'm gonna place bandit at the C's here because his kit is overall really good. Blackbeard, I'm going to place at the. I've seen a couple decent Blackbeard players, but overall, I think that Blackbeard is fairly trash. I think you can use him; it is possible, but I think that Blackbeard overall is kind of trash. So, all right, Glass, I want to talk about the last of the frag grenades. Glass, I'm going to place at the B tier because Glass can have some function and it is a little bit more of a situational op, but and you also have frag grenades, so but most of the time you're not going to bring grenades as Glass, but I do think that Glass does have potential when he is chosen, like kind of like these ops, but overall that potential is not going to happen too often. Sledge, SC, don't even think about it. Sledge is great. Frag grenades too. Yeah, you don't need that much burn with the metal right now. No, like there's so many ops that have so much utility to just huck things at people. Like a lot of people aren't running Jaeger Wamai strats. A lot of people are running either a Jaeger or a Wamai. They're just not like Jaeger, unless you're like playing like, let's say Cafe. And like a lot of times you're just running around like utility. Like the meta right now is more like Alibi, Oryx, Legion, and then like maybe a smoke shield with a Jaeger. A Rooney at B tier is a crime. What do you think Rooney should be then? I don't think a Rooney's at S tier. I don't think a Rooney's down here. I personally love Rooney, so I'm not sure how to place Rooney, because if I'm placing a Rooney, I'm placing Rooney at S because I love Rooney. So I'm like trying to be unbiased about where I'm placing Rooney. So I'll place Rooney at the A tier because I do think that Rooney is really good. The only defender is DMR, and that means something. IA, fair enough. There you go, boom. Yeah, the DMR specifically. Blitz. I'm gonna place the Blitz at the C tier. Situational again. Can be good when the right situation arises. So I'm gonna do Grim because I like Grim a lot, but Grim is definitely in the trash section. I've only found like one time that I can actually use Grim, and that's not too often. Like Cafe Pixel, it's like okay, but like Cafe Pixel, he's like in here, but everywhere else he's definitely trash. Yeah, no, Rooney's great. Rooney's great at picking people off. Like just in terms of pure frag ability, she's S tier. But I thought her utility and her gates is more like in the B tier. That's why I was like, ah. But yeah, no, I'll place her in. I agree. I do agree. Her gun's low-key blow unless you're good with the DMR. Yeah, but this is like more for the higher tiered players. Like the DMR is an amazing gun. Like if I could have a Rooney's DMR in any other op, I'd totally do it. Like imagine Malusi with a Rooney DMR. Like my god, broken as hell. Buck probably. I'm gonna place 8. So Buck S tier, that's an easy one because I'm pretty sure Buck has a gun 6. Hard breach gadget. And I mean you have soft destruction. Buck is literally can do everything, deadass. So Capital. This is a toughie here. Harbreach gadget. I'll do Harbreach for the Harbreach gadget. You have a lot of utility. You know, interesting utility too. And you have Harbreach gadget, so boom. Congrats, Bobbin. Castle is also going to be at the B tier. I mean, there's a lot of times that you can run castle strats, but like running castle on every side on every map is just not going to be great. Cat B, yeah, I agree with that. Castle can be B as well. Castle is, I think, Castle is probably more A though. I want to place Castle more in the A tier. It feels like a travesty to put Castle with your Capital and Glass, so I'm gonna place him in the A tier. Low B. C. The Castle's definitely not C. No way. Ain't no way. I'll meet you guys halfway. I'll leave him in the B. Caveira. Not completely worthless, but usually worthless. But Cav was a lot of fun. I love playing Cav. I mean, if this is a fun tier list, you place Caveira at the very, very top next to Nook. But Cav just doesn't offer too much. Clash. I'll place Clash there as well. I think they're slightly above these ops, but not by much. UOP sucks. I mean, yeah, but it has a 1.5 and you have a shotgun to make rotates. You are the site architect. It's kind of nice. You can deadass play Castle anywhere, and Castle can still get functionality. You can do a lot. Castle above Mav. Yeah, I mean, like Castle's a defender though. Like I don't want to compare the two because it's not necessarily like, you know, compare defenders to defenders and attackers to attackers. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. Doke. I think with the Doke buff, so what the Doke buff does, which can be extremely strong, especially like let's say they have an Echo or a Meisha or whatever. Let's just say an Echo. Like they're trying to go for an Echo plant and you have a Doke. Now, what defenders can do, so when you do a Doke call, defenders can't use their cameras during that entirety for the Doke call. So when you go for the late round and they don't have cams, it's kind of nice. So any of their teammates that are trying to watch the cams, I mean, they're screwed. They can't do anything. And Doke by herself is just pretty strong. Any of EMP impacts, So it's kind of like another Thatcher variant in a way. I think it should either be high B or low A. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I was at. I was like, I was flirting Castle like here. I wasn't really too sure. So I was going to leave Castle the B's here because I think that overall he's a little bit more situational most of the time. But I feel like Castle could deadass be played anywhere if you're like playing like, if we're talking like more like top heavy shit, like what I see like other people do, I would place Castle more at the A tier. But like in terms of just ranked, I would say probably just at the B tier. Echo. I'm going to place Castle at the B tier, purely for the ability to drone people around, like kind of like Mozzie. I'll place Echo at the A next to the Mozzie. I don't mind that. The defender drones that can move around. I mean, Mozzie's better than Echo for certain reasons. Yeah, I don't even feel right. I feel like that's better. Echo can quote unquote deny a plant, but that like we were talking about, it's not the current meta. Just not the current meta. I don't think Echo should be that even close to that high. Mozzie, I think it just functions overall better most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. Plus that Nitro. Ella's got a lot better with your recoil, so Ella is a lot stronger than before, but Ella's still not like super strong. I do think Ella has purpose and can be strong, but above B tier is really pushing it. I think more like in that B C tier. But I'm gonna leave Ella at the B tier just for a little controversy. Oh, Sens. We haven't gotten to Sens yet. Yeah, that's definitely in the trash tier. That's obvious. Like, don't even need to talk about that one, do I? Gadget is horrible. This gadget is worse than normal smoke canisters. Like, if you use the Sens gadget, you can deadass impact it or nitro it, and it goes away instantly. So it's worse than the actual smokes, which is ridiculous. Alibi is definitely a top tier because Alibi is one of the strongest defender roamer entry ops that you can play. Amazing gun. You can set up the site like an architect, so if you don't want to play a smoke meta fully, that's fine. And you have a shield, so like deadass Alibi can serve the function of smoke, so you guys can play a little bit more roamy, and your site's all good to go. You can make kill holes around the, like, even if you have a smoke, having Alibi is nice because you can make kill holes or rotates around the map. I got to start. Not many ops can do that besides, let's say, an op like Oryx. And Oryx, I'm gonna place Oryx at the A tier, a little bit under Alibi. Normally I place Oryx up as well, but I'm gonna place Oryx slightly lower because I think that Oryx, in terms of gun ability, is the same. In terms of making rotates around the map, it's the same. But Alibi has a shield which serves a function for people on site, and Oryx does not. That's probably the only reason I'd place him under. Otherwise, like, Oryx is definitely like high A in my eyes. Maybe low S. Could be S, but I'm gonna place Oryx at the A because I feel like when it comes down to Alibi or Oryx, everyone chooses Alibi. So I'm gonna place Finka at the C tier. I like heals, but these guns are horrible now. They got very over nerfed. If you're a console player, you're gonna be like, SenVale, why isn't Finka the S here? On PC, it has horrible recoil in the LMG. You can try to use it, but you gotta use it like 1x and go for body shots. The spear is usable, but it definitely is not an easy thing to use correctly. So I think that's fine. Flores, A tier. I mean, you are a Faz. Let's go, baby. For the C1. How we doing? Yeah, I'm sorry, Faz. I appreciate you being here, though, baby. Flores is clearly an A tier, probably higher. The only reason why I wouldn't say Flores as the S tier is because Flores is very counterable by the mute, which mute is going to be, I believe, should be an S tier op. Very counterable. But Flores is just great. You have 3 flashbang for burn, and then you have 4 drones that can destroy a lot of utility from the defenders. So you guys can punch a hole in. Speaking of which, smoke mute. I mean, they're obviously up there. It's like the combat kind of wombo combo. Decent guns, SMG 11, shield or nitro, plant denial, all that fun stuff on, you know, great. All right, Frost. I want to say Frost is A tier, deadass. Like, I just think it serves kind of the same function as like an alibi in a way. Like, you have that shotgun to make rotates, you have a shield, and you have a pretty decent gun. Like, this gun's not bad, and you have a 1.5 scope on it. I don't think Frost is lower than A tier. It has utility and a good gun to use. I just think it's the A tier. Fuse. I'm gonna place Fuse at the old D. Actually, no. Fuse does have a hard breach charge. That is the only saving grace that is making Fuse a C tier out. As hard breach. Yeah. Goyo. See, I thought Goyo was good. No, that's not where he's going. Sorry. I thought Goyo was going to be like really strong with that 1.5 scope, but like that 1.5 scope is rough to use if anyone's trying to run that. I'm gonna place the old Goyo at the. I don't see it being as valuable as a lot of these guys. So I'm gonna place Goyo at the B tier. Definitely strong, but the fires are a little situational, and then having true effectiveness. They are strong though, but I don't think that they're like overly strong like anything else. And the gun's good and nitro's good. You could try to convince me that Goyo could be A tier, but I'm just gonna put B tier right now just to see how we are. Gridlock. I saw someone put Gridlock at S tier. Somebody needs to explain to me why someone put Gridlock at an S tier, but because I don't see Gridlock going above, like, let's say C tier. You have flank watch ability, and I'm pretty sure you have EMP impacts. So, okay, but I just don't see anyone really running Gridlock. I just want to put Gridlock down here, but like, I'm just so unsure of Gridlock. I don't think Gridlock is above C tier in my eyes. Goyo B, okay, fair enough. Mira's A tier. Mira. I'm placing Mira at the S tier. Yeah, she's sometimes situational, but a lot of times her situation comes up, she is overly broken. Like, she is very strong in the situation she arises. And Mira's banned a lot. So I'm going to place Mira at the S tier because, yes, it can be situational, but the situations that arise where you can have a Mira, she's amazing. Speaking of which, Valkyrie. Why do you think these ops are banned so much? They're annoying as hell to deal with. But SenVale, comp, they don't run. I mean, like, yes, but we're not talking pure comp. We're talking about for average Joes like us that played this game. So, Valkyrie is strong. You can place the cameras anywhere. You have a good gun and you have a nitro. Mira, you can place the shields on the walls and basically win any, like, hold down any type of sight from anyone unless they destroy your Mira. So, like, both these ops are very, very strong and super annoying to have to deal with. So, yeah, I don't think Gridlock goes above C tier. IQ, I think, is even worse than the Gridlock. I think that IQ, personally, for me, I say IQ is on par with these guys in my eyes. The only reason you bring IQ to D tier is if you like her guns a lot. Because her guns aren't bad. You got a lot of good choices, but I'll leave IQ at D tier and just be like, whatever, bro. Jackal, not as strong as before in my eyes, at least, because Nook, I think, deserves the ban a lot more, but Jackal is still really strong. Jackal could be maybe above A tier, I think. Maybe S tier. Jackal for me is like high A, low S, so I'm gonna leave him in the A tier for now because I have a lot of S already. IQ S tier, that is just cat. I will fight you on that one, brother. Oh, IQ has EMP impacts? I actually didn't know that. I'll place the IQ at the C tier though. How about that one? Is that is kind of smart. Like, you go IQ with EMP impacts and you can. No. I'm looking at IQ load out. She doesn't have them. D tier. Okay. Yeah, your S tier, don't even think about it. ADSs. I mean, do you like getting grenaded? I don't. Well, my same thing. Do you like getting grenaded? I don't. Also, their guns are amazing. Some of the best defender guns in the game. So you can ping them, yeah, but so can a drone spec, and I can just, instead of going IQ, I can go OSA, use a drone to find the Cade, and then we can just throw an EMP at it anyways. That's the argument. It's like, keep it simple. Why smoke good? You have the ability to make the basically architect the site out. You have a shield, SMG-11 for long range or good like primary engagements. Super strong in terms of fragging ability with the shotgun and the SMG-11 combo in close range, especially because you're a site anchor out. And you have smokes. If you ever feel like you're in danger, you can smoke off a section of like a door or section of the map and basically hold it off for like 45 seconds to a minute. And basically you stall them out. So it is really hard to rush a team if they have a smoke. It's almost impossible to rush a team if they have a smoke, if the smoke's not completely dog. So Cade S here. Cade's weapons are a little tough, but Cade claws are the current meta for how to hold down a wall or a hatch. Cade claws are the best at doing so. Bandits or mutes, I mean, sure you can, but like Cade claws are just better, especially EMP impacts. If you ban Cade, EMP impacts basically let them get through any wall. You can't stop anything unless you try to bandit trick actively, then maybe. Callie, I'm gonna place in the I don't want to place Callie in the 8s here. I thought about it for a second, but I'll place Callie in the beats here. I like Callie a lot. Callie is very, very fun, but with EMP impacts, I think Callie's ability got a little nerfed because it's like, whatever, who cares? But yeah, I think Callie sits safely at the beats here. Plus a sniper that puts people down in one shot is kind of nice. She's main bay. Yeah, I mean, that's fine, Arthur, but like, you can't convince me that IQ offers any extra utility or effectiveness over any op above her. Like, why go IQ when you just go Amaru? You gotta really convince me on that, because no. Capkin is at least bare minimum an A tier, maybe S tier. I like Capkin because like you place it on any door and like just going in, like even at high elo, hit the Capkin traps all the time. And even if you don't hit the Capkin traps, you have to focus on the door, so you play a little bit slower, so the defenders can like work you a little bit easier. So I definitely think Capkin is at least next up for us. But plus the nitro is always nice. 1.5 scope. Legion, I don't know if you guys are gonna agree with this, but I am gonna place Legion at the A tier. I like Legion at the A tier for me personally because I think that Legion is extremely strong in the roam game, because you can place your mines wherever you want. You can hold off multiple staircases. You always will know, if you're paying attention to your mines, you're going to know that they're pushing through that, because a lot of people aren't going to skim the floor for all these mines. Like they're going to hit them a lot, and you're going to know, especially if you're running around near your mines, where people are pushing from. And having impacts is always nice, and the gun is really strong. It's the same gun that Oryx gets, but they function a little bit differently. Like Oryx is more of a deep roam, and Legion is more of like a soft roamer, like more like kind of lurked roam. Like you're like near the site, but you're not like super far away. Oryx is more of a deep roamer. Like I'm roaming like all the way across the map. Maestro, I don't know how I feel about Maestro. I deadass haven't seen a Maestro in a long time. So I'm gonna place the Maestro at the seats here because his cameras just can't move, and they're very easy to deal with now. There's just so many ways of dealing with them. Everyone has a Gon 6. So Mel, I think Mel is easily a I don't see Mel as an S tier op, but Mel is definitely at least an A tier op. The ability to always know where someone's going to put, like, you know, they cannot rat behind you, or so you're gonna say a little aggressive, but with a Mel on the board. So Mel, A tier, I think is fine. Gun, the only problem with Mel that I have is MP5 with 1X is kind of little boof. Monty, I think Monty is more effective than Blitz most of the time, so I'm gonna place the Monty at the beats here. Monty has a lot of situational times that he's really effective, but a lot of the time he's extremely effective. So I think Monty sits pretty good at the beats here. Probably could be higher in the A tier potentially, but I'll place him in the B tier for now. Nomad. Nomad, I'm also gonna place in the B tier. Current meta, like Nomad is nice sometimes, but a lot of times you don't always need to instant lock Nomad all the time. Like Nomad just doesn't do a ton anymore. It's a bunch. Don't have any extra utility. You have a lot of burn, so the burn's good, and jabs are nice. But like once you get that control, like you know, cameras can do the same thing as most of the time for air jabs. Air jabs are really nice though in the times where they are effective. So pulse. I'm gonna place the pulse in the B tier because yes, I mean it is hard to really stack somebody with a nitro with the pulse scanner, everything, all that fun stuff. But when they know that there is a pulse on the board, a lot of people are going to make it their life's mission to go after the pulse and deal with them. So you basically force the attackers to have to play a certain way. Go. There we go. Test, test, test. There we go. All right. So those screechy noises from the mic. We fixed that. Boom, probably, I think. All right. You have Tachanka. I think Tachanka is still better than these ops. Guy's a little wacky, and hey, at least you're gonna make rotates. But I've never seen Tachanka fires used in a way that was super effective other than Bank holding the basement. So Thorn. You just don't have that much utility, like really at all. The chaps are good and the guns are good. Thorn is I'll play Thorn a little bit higher. I think the overall killing potential of Thorn is really, really, really strong. So, all right. Thunderbird. I think with a Doc buff, Thunderbird gets a lot weaker, So I'm placing the Thunderbird at the C tier. I'll place Thunderbird in the B tier. You still have a Nitro. And you have a Spear and the Bearing 9 and a Nitro, so all really strong weapons. But I do think that the Doc is the better healer currently. Because Thunderbirds have to go to you. Doc can go to you. Like, sorry, the Thunderbirds, you have to go to the Thunderbirds to heal. Doc can go to you, wherever you're at, even if you're down across the map. Like, as long as there's a line of sight on you, bing, you're good. You got the Twitch. Tachanka and Meisho is criminally underrated. Yeah, this is Tachanka's more of a like a comp thing. Like that. This isn't a rank thing. Like Tachanka could be higher as a comp thing maybe. Same with Maestro, but they just don't perform. This is a tier list for people that are going to be around the plat to diamond elo who like are trying to get better at the game, or people that are lower than that and trying to get better at the game and like, who should I play Sen? I don't know who to play. This is kind of the list for them. So that's why I'm like, Maestro can be higher. I like Maestro's gun a lot. The Elda, you have a bailiff to make everything. You have impacts. You have a lot of utility, but it's just kind of mid because I feel like the camera's just really easy to deal with, and you just have an LMG that's kind of so. I'll leave him there for now. That confused me. I'm sorry. That's the case. Shouldn't Flores be lower? No, Flores is amazing. Flores is great. Flores is amazing at destroying a bunch of utility. That ranked, casual, unranked, comp, doesn't matter. But still counterable by the minute. Vigil, I'm gonna place Vigil at the B tier because Vigil does have effectiveness, but I don't think he has more effectiveness past this point. Because like Vigil kind of fell off meta, to me at least, because I feel like Mozzie, Oryx, Alibi exists, and these ops are just tend to be the go-to ops for the people that would normally play the Vigil. So Zofia, I think that Zofia is an amazing entry. I'm gonna play Zofia at the S tier. I'll do it. Zofia is the S tier because the weapon is amazing. You have 2 concuss, you have 2 impacts, and you have breach charges, so you can work divert or open walls or whatever. Hard breach. Oh, sorry, yeah. I don't know the word I'm looking for. Swinging on the window. Or you have claymores. I think Zofia kind of does it all. It's a really strong entry. No grenades though. That's the only downside to Zof, but you're Follow-up is that you have a lot of burn and you can do a lot of interesting things. It's Swiss Army knife. Twitch, I'm gonna place at the A tier. The only reason why Twitch isn't higher is because Twitch doesn't have that much utility if she's by herself. Like, you have drones, and then you don't, like, you have, what can you do after that? Can't do much. You have smokes, sure. I mean, yeah, you have smokes and or claymores. I mean, I'm gonna leave Twitch at A tier. So. T-Bird, no, T-Bird's dog. Finka is horrible. Bandit is only good for bandit tricking. I think these guys, this boom boom, are in their spots they belong. Warden, I'll leave Warden at the A tier, and that's more for who I know specifically will play this up because of the gun and the nitro and the ability to stop aggressive. No, I'm gonna leave Warden at B for the same reason, but I just don't feel like that occasion is going to happen that often. The gun is good, but a lot of times you're going to be just better off running the Alibi or Oryx. Warden is nice, but I feel like you only bring Warden versus Alibi and Oryx if you want to play these ops, but you also want a Nitro, because Nitros are nice. Ying, I'll place Ying at the A tier. I like the heart, specifically because the Heartbeat gadget is always nice. Which low-key S for having 3 drones. Yeah, the only reason why I put her at A tier is because there's enough drones to go around, for 1, and 2, you just don't have that much ability to like clear anything other than using your drone, and the drone's not going to destroy that much utility. Like, you can't destroy shields, you can't really even help destroy the shields. I don't want to put Twitch at S unless this is going to be a comp tier list. I don't feel like Twitch is an S tier rank up. I just don't think so. Doc has got a massive buff. Doc has a bailiff now, and his heal, instead of healing 40, heals 200. Well, think about it. Zero for, I mean, for ranks he's like down here, but not really. But I'm gonna place the 0 at the I'll place him in the beats here. Cams are nice, and sometimes they're extremely strong, like on bank. You have a hard breach gadget and good guns, so I feel like 0 sits pretty safely at the beats here. And I don't think 0 goes up above that. What was it when you rank Gridlock? Mind going over why she seats her again? Well, there's not much good about Gridlock. EMP impacts. But 1 speed attacker is very, very weak in my eyes in the current meta. Very, very weak. I think a lot of people would agree with that. A 1 speed attacker up is just mid. 0 is better on paper than he is in the game. Deadass true. I want to play 0 higher, but like, anyone watching this that actually wants a reason, like, what ops should I run? You probably shouldn't run this at rank. Deadass, like, your teammates aren't gonna watch your cams, and like, that's you. 0 is only really functional if you can have someone that is physically going to watch those cameras. What makes Nomad better than Gridlock? Nomad is better than Gridlock because, I mean, you can actually stop people from flanking you. Gridlocks don't actually stop anyone from flanking you. You can just shoot them or impact them and they're all gone. Nomads, I mean, you have to find where the air jab is first, which is hard to do. You gotta be like kind of Weasley to do that. And they're a lot easier to deploy. Yeah, no, I agree with that, Jordan. I agree with that. Like, he should be higher, but it is kind of, it should be higher. But yeah, this is the list. Any complaints? Anyone you think that should move drastically? If you were like, hey, I want Doc to go down to C tier, then share. But if it's like up or down 1 tier, I mean, I'm probably not gonna move him. Like, I need a really good argument. So real quick, if you guys on YouTube, I mean, this is your time to go down to the comments below and tell me why you think someone should go up or down, and we can have a discussion about it. Save for the nomads. No, nomads are a lot harder to shoot off. Gridlocks are very easy. Like, if I'm a Jaeger flanking and they have a nomad, I can't really get through a door. But if they have a gridlock, I can get through it, no problem. So, as a flank watch, which is what gridlock is normally going to be used for, that's the reason why I pick gridlock is so you have some type of flanking ability. Yeah, sorry, some type of flank watch, but you can also have EMP impacts. So, Glaz, what do you think? Glaz lower? T-Berg, in my opinion, is S. No way. Thunderbird, I just don't see Thunderbird really bringing any type of utility. Like, Vinka is definitely not an S tier. Vinka is no way leaving C tier. No way. Who says the best overall operator? Probably Sledge. Sledge or Sledge, Osa for the attack. Maybe Zoph. Defending, Mira. Azami. Alibi. No. Exactly, Spec. Like, that's literally how it works. If it's a gridlock, you can deal with it, and then suddenly the attackers have to come look at you. But knowing that their air job on, they know the air job is active. They know you can't flank. They don't have to deal with you. So, yeah, T-Bird was higher before the nerf, but I just heard gun got a little nerfed, and honestly, Doc got a buff. So I feel like Doc is a better option than T-Bird. If you're gonna run a T-Bird, you might as well just run a Doc. I think Doc functions overall better right now. Am I wrong? But yeah. All right, guys, this is the list. So, if you guys have any thoughts, drop that down in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe, drop a comment, and leave a like for more. Hey.